Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, gentlemen. I'm Rami Alloush, and I'm here on behalf of my team talking about co-learner. Co-learner is actually an application of the digitalization on the education sector, specifically by smart note-taking. Before going into the details, let's have a quick look of what we are going to say today. We will talk about why education, specifically why we are talking about education. Then we will state the current problem from stating the current learning scheme. After that, we will go through our proposed solution, what we are trying to solve and what we are providing today. And then we will go through the references and conclusion of our work. So the first thing, why education? Why we are talking about education? We all know that with the new vision of the Kingdom 2030, that we are trying to invest in human beings. And this is very clear from, we have 6 programs, one of them is the Human Capital Program of the vision. And in that program, we are trying to focus on the human being rather than the oil or any resources. And to invest in the human being, investing in their education is one of the highest investments one can do. But can we talk about education? What do you know about education? Actually, me and my teammate Ahmed, we are graduate students. We have been in the education system for too long, around 23 years. But not only on the listening side. Actually, we have cumulative experience as teaching assistant, giving private courses for engineers and operators. So we have been on both sides. We tried being the listeners and being the teachers. So we know pretty well how the education system works. And from our experience, we can see the current learning scheme and the problems it has, especially in our focus area regarding the notes taking. Some people, while they are listening to a certain lecture, they don't take notes at all. And researchers showed, with a very recent study from Harvard, said that the education comprehension and gain is increased by 60% if you are taking notes by your hand. Some other people, they take notes, but they do it on paper. And I believe this little picture here can summarize the thing. We all know this, you get deviated from the lecture, you start making drawings, or your notes styling is not perfect. Other people, they do use a computer to take the notes, but they are just typing on a keyboard. And another recent study, 2004, I am attaching all the references and these studies at the end. So another recent study, 2014, showed that students who are not taking by their hands are facing a lot of problems, and they have about 20% less comprehension of the material. Other problems, so if you are talking about paper, we can remember, we all know the statistics that paper consumption, and we need to reduce the paper consumption. But other problems that we are familiar with, we are students, that we may take misinformation while taking the notes. You have to duplicate what's on the keyboard while you are writing that. It's time consumption. Sometimes you miss a piece of information, you tell the listeners to please go back, and so on. So from these vast problems, we are proposing our solution, co-learners. So co-learners is actually a complete system. It's a platform and a hardware infrastructure. It has 2 main pillars that are to solve the problem. The first one is the software itself, which is targeting the current education system, trying to solve the current problems that are stated. And the second pillar is a futuristic view, where we are trying to implement the big data concept and artificial intelligence into the education system. So we have 2 main pillars of our solution. So the first main pillar and the direct features we are providing for the current education system is our products. We have many features, but I'll focus on just 3 of them. The first one of these features is the live content creation. So as I said, many times while you are in the lecture, you try to take notes to this note is for this certain slide, or try to duplicate what's on the keyboard in your notes to be able to comment or annotate on it. But with co-learners, you have direct copy or direct creation of the content. While the teacher is creating the content, it's being copied for each student, so you can directly annotate on it, make notes, and so on. So this saves huge amount of time. The second point is that the collaboration and sharing ability. For each section of the lecture, while the teacher is proceeding, you are writing your notes for each section, and you have access to other students' notes for this particular section. So this improves the collaboration. You may have missed some points, you can access other ideas of other students. So this improves the collaboration and ability. But also, you have to be aware that other students are watching your work. So you can't just go drawing. So you will stay attentive. You will watch while you are writing down, because everything is shared between the students. The other part, of course, we are talking about digital content. So we have the archiving, indexing, and from everywhere accessibility that we are all familiar with. So this is the first pillar of our product that focuses on solving the current problems in the current solution system. But this is not our big picture. This is not our big dream. The second pillar, or the second part, is about big data. I believe all of you know what big data means. This is a simple comic where big data is being invaded and everywhere. This is a futuristic view for at a customs. You reason Amazon purchases, tweet score, and location history makes you 20–30% eligible for the visa. So it's not about application anymore. It's big data that will determine everything. Of course, this is comic, but this is the concept that big data is invading everywhere. But where is big data in the education system? Our plan is bring it here. We need to bring the big data concept, the machine learning, inside the education system. And not any part of the education system, the core part, at the processing where the education is being taken during the education system, while the teacher is giving the information, while the student is recording this specific information. And with this big data, the possibilities are unlimited. There are so many different ideas for where this big data could be implemented, but one of them is, for example, how to take the notes. Actually, there are 5 notes, and studies show that it's very critical that each student has to implement his best note-taking layout. There are different styles, 5 of them actually, but with big data, and while you are using the platform, it will start to recognize which best note-taking style best suits you according to the topic, according to your style. So actually, we are saving on all the sides. We are saving time during the education process. We are saving money from the paper and by saving time, of course. So the financial impact is very high, the time is very high, the education process is highly improved. But with the big data, the other part, actually the possibilities are limited. Like I said, one of the examples to use the big data is the smart noting system layout. We can have other options like maybe related content suggestion based on what you are typing. We can have errors alarming or misinformation typing alarming, and the list actually goes forever. So with all of these ideas, will it be easy to implement such a system? What do you think? As I said, the first pillar, we can go start simple, we cannot start big, so we can start simple with a simple application with the existing hardware, and from that we can start moving on to a bigger infrastructure, say for a company or a school, and from that we can go to a complete package or complete infrastructure, and finally we can have a nationwide data system. But for this nationwide, what can we use it for? Again, the ideas are limited. Maybe we can use it for improving the curriculum, having higher or better topics, evaluation, even for research. We can use this handwriting in research and handwriting recognition, and many actually unlimited possibilities to use this. We know the road will not be easy. There will be a lot of obstacles. The main of them, or we can think of the initial cost of hardware, and that's why in our implementation plan, we plan to start simple, so we can use existing hardware like tablets, iPads, and so on. Data storage could be a problem, but again, we can have local storage, and on the bigger scale, we will have a nation centralized system where we can store the data remotely, so not each school or each college has to have this data. Concern about privacy, and this needs good, let's say, media coverage to have the proper concept on the privacy. And the last problem may be the infrastructures, and like I said, it would have our plan maybe 10 years of implementation so that we can overcome this infrastructure problem. With that, we can have the conclusion. This is the complete storyline of conclusion. We know what is the pattern that we are currently have. We need to implement our solution or the smart digitalization in the gap that's currently in the system, which we believe is the note-taking system, which is a crucial part. So we're proposing our solution to overcome this problem and have a huge impact on the finance and the whole education system overall. Here I'm covering the list of references that we have used for the studies on which we depended on our research. And with that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you so much.